Welcome to the Heme Consults video orientation series. Today I'm talking about evaluating anemia. And I talk about anemia because anemia is such a common problem. In fact, in a study of 435 patients who were admitted to the internal medicine service in a hospital, 44% had anemia. That's a lot of anemia. So one of the things that you will be called for many times over is anemia. But often it's anemia as a consequence of something. So they're not calling you about the anemia, but the patient also has anemia. And as hematologists, we address every hematologic problem, at least talk about it to make sure that we are addressing it. Because sometimes the teams are like, it's not that bad. But we want to make sure that we address it so it's not overlooked and really taking the best care of the patient. Okay, so what are 7 things that you should do as you think about anemia? Number 1, you always request a blood film. Always. So it's just regular anemia. She's iron deficient. Always request a blood film. Whatever it is, you want to look at the blood film under the microscope. The second thing you always want to do is to get a reticulocyte count. You want to get a reticulocyte count so you can check a reticulocyte index and figure out how well the patient is responding to the anemia. This is important to send you down the rabbit hole of, could this be a destructive process or is it a hypoproliferative anemia? So you want to know. And so 2 things that you always want to get when you evaluate anemia, no matter what, are the blood film and the reticulocyte count. So before you get off the phone, when the consult call was about anemia, you want to ask for these 2 items. Okay. The other thing you want to do is to inquire about blood loss, because people in the hospital for different reasons, perhaps they just had surgery or perhaps they're admitted with a GI bleed. You want to make sure that you're not missing a source of blood loss. That being said, no matter the history you're getting, you want to ask for iron studies. Iron studies are helpful because they help you distinguish iron deficiency anemia from anemia of chronic inflammation. And it's helpful for you to have the iron studies, and that includes the ferritin. The other thing you want to do in general is check for nutritional deficiencies. Now, most of the time, nutritional deficiencies will not be the primary cause of anemia, but they can contribute, and they can also contribute to the patient not recovering in time. So when in doubt, you want to check iron studies. You also want to check for nutritional deficiencies, including B12, methylmalonic acid levels, and folate levels. Okay. Now, if indicated, evaluate for hemolysis. And the reticulocyte count would be part of that evaluation. And so if for whatever reason the reticulocyte count was high, you want to make sure that you evaluate for hemolysis. And that includes looking at an LDH, looking at the T-billy and the fractionated billy, and also making sure that the haptoglobin is checked as well. Okay. Then finally, consider the effect of medications, because patients are on many medications and many medications have different side effects. So as you're thinking about anemia, consider what things may be contributing to the anemia as well. So this week, I want to challenge you that when somebody calls you about anemia, don't let them off the phone until you've given them your recommendations, including a blood film and a reticulocyte count. So imagine what it would be if you actually had, by the time you ended every consult conversation, you already had a set of recommendations for them to go and start working on. Wouldn't that be awesome? And you're not like automatically trying to think about, oh my gosh, what do I need to tell them to do? Anyway, so think about doing that this week, and I hope you can tell me about it sometime. I'll see you in the next video.